So with the latest episode of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, we actually start to see what this season may actually be about. Now, for those that have not heard, this show is supposed to have 24 episodes this season, so it's gonna be a long one. Here we are just on episode 3, and we can start to see as more world building is happening in this episode, just like last episode, we can start to see the little trickling of information that may be what is happening for the rest of the season. So let's get this party started and let's take a look at this. Now, Diablo is setting things in motion for them to set up the proper king. Last episode, the king stepped down, abdicated the throne, and his brother took over. Diablo is basically stating here how, hey, soon there's going to be a kind of like civil war, if you will. The new king is going to sit there and after a while stop giving them reparations and be like, you know what, we don't deserve to give you reparations due to the previous king. And there's going to be factions within that kingdom that's going to lead them to essentially have a civil war. Albeit with no military, but maybe they'll get something in the meantime. So these two factions are going to fight, but the hero and their party is over in the previous king's faction in their land, trying to protect them to make sure nothing goes wrong until the time is right. And then of course, when the trap is set, Rimuru and his pals, whatever, set the hero up to take over, fight this new king, and then rally the people around, and their hero will be the new king, thus implementing their original plan to making the hero the king of this big nation, and thus a future ally that they'll have pretty much forever. Everything is going smoothly, and of course Rimmer's like, yeah, just, you know, keep the civilian casualties as low as possible. This is one indication of what this will probably have. I would say maybe a few episodes happening at some point in this season. So Benimaru comes before Rimuru, and they're all, of course, discussing their current plans as far as where they're going to put roads as they go out and extend their empire. And then we're discussing what is next to the Jura forest. Now here we have what is the Kusha Mountains. They explain to Rimuru that how there's actually a hidden village in these mountain ranges, and how, you know, you may want to explore, look at this, make contact with them. So of course, Rimuru's like, hey, I'll go. But then they were like, you shouldn't go, you're a demon lord. And if you go alone, it may look bad, which makes sense because here he is, an all-powerful person just walks up to a hidden village. They're of course gonna be thinking, he's come to destroy us. So it kind of makes sense. So it looks like Benimaru is going to actually head off. Maybe he has some escort, some people. They're going to explore this and find this hidden village, which yet again looks like it's going to be another area where we'll probably have a few episodes talking about this village and the people in it and more characters and world building. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this could be implemented. And you know, it's not hidden in the leaves, so it'll be fine. Next was Hakuro, I believe I'm saying that right. He went before Rimuru and started explaining what he found in the Clayman area. So he was tasked with checking out, you know, they won against Clayman. So pretty much his territory, castle and such, are kind of like their spoils. So he's coming back to Rimuru and he's like, hey, the people that work there and that whole area is with dark elves, and that area has a lot of elven culture and past elven artifacts and things that they may want to look into, elven treasures. There are explorers that go around and their whole job is to find artifacts and make money from them. And they even speculated that Clayman probably started making his fortune selling off some elven artifacts. So it wouldn't surprise me in the future episodes how they may try to explore the area and maybe they find like elven tombs, artifacts, treasures, and probably run into a few explorers, make friends, enemies from it, and, you know, try to lay claim to areas to where they can find another revenue avenue, so where they can actually make money in a different way for the future empire that they're growing. So I can see this as a new stage, a new level that may come up in the future, and probably have more episodes dedicated to that as well. And finally, in the biggest meeting that they had, Rimuru pretty much pulled everyone together and told them everything like, hey, I have been given domain over the whole forest. Well, people started getting a little hesitant around him, and he's like, what's the deal? The forest that he normally knows of is on one side of the river, but now that he's a demon lord, he actually claims the other side of the forest, which is on the other side of the river as well. And that area has other people he hasn't met yet, other lizard men, other orcs, other people that he hasn't come across. But because he's a demon lord and that is his domain, more than likely, all these people are going to come before him and be like, hey, yeah, please don't kill us. We actually live here. We've been living here, and we respect that you can wipe us out, but please don't, giving him homage. So he's like, you know what? Let's make a party, which I knew he's going to make this in a party. They always try to make parties. But he's like, if instead of them trying to trickle in one at a time, let's let everyone know, hey, this is our city. We're on the map. Here's who we are. Come. If you're a monster, whatever, come live at our place. And even he said they might even get more people, i.e. monster people, to actually live in the city of Tempest. And these people that we haven't met before, they're probably going to come in here and say, who's this new demon lord? I've been living here all this time. So he's probably going to have friendly people that come before him and just try to, be nice, but I'm sure there are going to be characters that are not so friendly. I've been living here in this forest for this long, and my society's been fine. Why do I have to bend the knee to you? And all this, that, and the other. So it wouldn't surprise me that this great party that is actually supposed to be actually good, there's probably some interesting characters that come along, which in and of itself probably will make more episodes of the season. So overall, there was, yes, a whole lot of talking, even the whole Geralt thing where he's having issues with people working under him and they have a little drinks. There was a lot of stuff that happened here as Rimuru is kind of going over all the stuff that's happened in the city and trying to see how is his subordinates are doing as they're running things efficiently, mind you, and he doesn't have to really do anything. So regardless, this episode was definitely an episode where you can definitely see a lot of maybe future things happening this season, and maybe not even this season, maybe in future seasons, that they just kind of like laid the breadcrumbs, like, okay, this is what's, we're in episode 3. We're definitely getting some world building here, which is not a problem. There will be action, and there will be more times where more discussions are happening, because you gotta understand, this is kind of like not necessarily a slice of life, but Rimuru is trying to build up this empire from the ground up. We started from season 1 where there was nothing here, and then slowly but surely, we're growing from like a little town to almost like a city / metropolis here that is mainly focused on the monsters, but technically, he's perfectly fine with having people come in and he's like, hey, I'm trying to be friendly towards people. Monsters have the lowest part of the totem pole, so please come in. You're welcome. So we shall see how things turn out as this pretty long season, which I'm ready for it. There may not be a lot of action right now per se, but I'm actually okay for it because when you have a really good anime, Naruto, Bleach, all that stuff, not every episode is them fighting all the time. That's not really makes amazing anime that we talk about from years to come. Yes, we could talk about anime and different anime from maybe in a few months, like, oh, that was a good one, and then it's forgotten for the most part. But then it's those big staple anime, what really makes them stay around and stay around for longer is these episodes that actually talk about the characters, talk about the world, talk about the places they live, and how it grows from being nothing to be something even better. And then there's struggles through it, and then the fights and stuff. as well. So it's basically, if you want a good pizza, you gotta have some good ingredients on there. So it's gonna be, you know, some stuff you may like, some things you may not like, but the more that's on there, the more people that enjoy it. So tell me what you guys think. Definitely let me know in the comments down below, and we'll definitely discuss more about this anime and several others here on the channel. Make sure you guys are also following along on Patreon. The link is down below, and I would love to see you guys over there. You guys be safe, take care, and Lord willing, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.